Welcome to TherapyCable.com. This is today's professional. I'm Dr. Ehsan Gharadjedaghi, clinical psychologist, interviewing a professional for you viewers. Welcome, Darshana, to our program.
Thank you.
And it's a pleasure to have you. I would like to introduce to you my good friend and colleague, Mrs. Darshana Doshi, with Diamond Bar Counseling. She's a counselor, and she has different specialties that she will share with you. So today what I would like to do is just find out more about yourself. If you would like to tell us and tell our viewers and our program about your training, about your education, how did you get started in this field, what moved you to get to become a counselor, and a little bit about your background.
Okay. Well, I started my career back in India. I've been born and raised in Bombay, India.
Okay.
So I had my bachelor's and master's degree in clinical psychology in India.
Okay.
And then I migrated to the US.
Yes.
And then I pursued further education. So I got my master's in counseling psychology from Argosy University.
Right.
And now I'm in practicing marriage and family therapist at a private practice. It's called Diamond Bar Counseling.
Right.
And the practice is relatively new. It's only been 6 months.
Great.
So I'm learning every day something new.
All right. So exciting.
Exciting
endeavor.
Yeah.
It is not easy to start a private practice. So I'm sure you have had your obstacles and ups and downs to get it up and running. And but how is it going today?
Well, it's very challenging to be in a private practice. But I enjoy it because it gives me a lot of freedom.
Right.
And I work by appointments only, so I am able to give my clients the quality, of time.
Right.
And so it has its own positives and negatives, like pros and cons. But I think I really enjoy where I am at.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
So now, what type of population do you work with? Is that, if you can tell us a little bit about demographics, such as age-wise, and the illnesses, maybe or problems that they come in with.
Okay.
Maybe the type of, whether Eastern medicine, Western medicine. What is their inclination, what they like to do in therapy, what they like within the therapeutic relationship. You can tell us more about that.
I see population 16 and up.
Okay.
And I, like I said, I see individual clients, I treat families, and I treat couples.
Right.
I see individuals with all mental health, issues.
Issues, right.
Yeah, and then with couples, I use a lot of different therapy styles to help couples with whatever relationship issues that they have. And I also use, because of my background and being Indian, I have a good knowledge of Ayurveda and yoga, and I use that in my therapy too.
Wow,
so I offer a very holistic approach.
Right.
And for me, it's my approach is taking the mind, body as a whole, and I see individuals, for me all individuals are unique, but I also want to give them a holistic treatment.
That's great. Yeah, the uniqueness is very important, and I really like that you emphasize that. That's how I also focus on my clients, that everybody is a little bit different, and so you have to really first assess them well and then know what to do. And as we have talked, holistic perspective is really what helps, because it's not just the mind, it's your whole experience throughout the day in your life, which includes the body. So you're focusing on both.
Both, yeah.
So what would be an example, like a type of therapy that you use that would be, certainly from the mind side, but then also how would you switch to the body side? How would you do that?
Okay, so let's take for example an individual who is being treated for anxiety.
Right.
Okay, so when somebody comes in with saying that I have anxiety or I have panic attacks, what I would do is I would use a little bit of cognitive behavior therapy to help the person understand and look where his thought process, how he's interpreting his thought processes.
Okay.
In the language of cognitive behavior therapy, it is called cognitive distortions.
Good.
So I help clients look at that, but then I use mindfulness technique to help the person be in the present. And I personally now feel that when the person is fully present in the moment, that's a time that they can actually truly understand their different thoughts, the emotions, the feeling. So mindfulness gives them a clarity, and it comes with practice like anything else. So I that's how I combine these two therapeutic approaches. And what I also do is, when I said Ayurveda, and that's an ancient Indian science, that pays a lot of attention to the nutrition of the individual.
Very good.
So if I see that when I do my assessment and I do my intake, I pay attention to their diet.
Right.
And if I see that there is some anti-anxiety causing foods in their diet, I would advise them to eliminate those and properly pay attention to their eating habits, sleep hygiene, and there's also aromatherapy that they can incorporate. And I love to share them my knowledge, and so I would give them the suggestion that these are the essential oils that they can probably try.
Absolutely.
And it's up to the individual, what he wants to.
Sure, you have to customize it and tailor it to what they are more comfortable with. A lot of people are very prone to use natural homeopathic supplements, if you will, because they truly believe in that.
Yeah, and these treatments are without side effects.
Yeah.
So if they have to take it a little bit longer, there's that the comfort in their mind that they're not inhaling or putting in their body something that's gonna come with some adverse side effects.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I really like your approach. It's that, like you mentioned, the holistic approach. So you're paying attention to the whole person.
Yes.
Right, and the entire, and also their lifestyle. I would say, sometimes it is the lifestyle itself that is the problem, rather than, let's say, something wrong with the mind, or actual something like an ailment, like a medical condition. It's not.
Yeah.
It's mostly what they're doing throughout the day and how they're spending their time.
And with the kind of technology that we all have, the technology is great, but if a person is spending hours on Facebook, and I see there's now a trend of addiction to internet gaming. And that plays a big role. So I try to psychoeducate them. That they need to probably cut back on those addictive behavior habits. Yes.
How about systemic and family wise? What do you usually engage in order to help the person? Okay,
for family, I would always look if when I can give you an example. If there is a couple, for example, who comes in with an issue of betrayal or an extramarital affair that has happened, I would try to look at the parenting style of each couple and look for in the from the developmental perspective, look at where the individual, has there been an abuse in the childhood, has there been a trauma, and many times I've found that when there has been an abuse, it's not processed, it has been suppressed in the mind, then that needs to come out. So from a systemic perspective, that's where I would like to pay my attention to.
Wonderful. And what comes to mind is, because you mentioned your cultural background. So you have grown up in India and studied there as well. So you're intimately aware of the Indian culture, and 18 years here. You have gone to school, education, family life, everything. So you're very much balanced between the two cultures, very bicultural. And so you definitely get a lot of clients who are struggling with that, with acculturation process, maybe generational gap. How about those?
Yeah, in respect to that population, the people who have migrated, years ago, and they still, I find them holding on to their tradition, their cultural heritage, and that sometime that way of living sometime becomes a source of conflict with the kids or the grandkids, because that generation has adapted more to the society over here, where they don't see any good in holding on to those traditions. But because that population has been born and raised in a different world, they have seen the good of that experience in themselves, and they would like for their kids and for their grandkids to probably carry on that tradition, so they want to preserve that part of their culture.
Sure. And so there is always a benefit. That's what you're looking at. Is why are they hanging on to that, those aspects of the culture?
And many times it's the way it's communicated, again, it probably can be communication issue that happens, so when that comes across, I help them to probably bridge the gap and find healthier ways to communicate.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So these are really great things that you do, and so you're practicing Diamond Bar.
Yes, in Diamond Bar.
And so you mentioned about a year. Is that how?
It's basically it opened December 2012.
Okay.
So it's the practice is relatively new. It's 6 months.
6 months. Okay.
Yeah. So
that's wonderful, and you have picked up on a lot of clients, and it seems like a growing business and growing private practice. And you seem to be enjoying this.
I enjoy it, and
like
I also forgot to mention that the Indian population is now open to seek psychotherapy. They are very much now opening up, and they consider it not anymore a stigma. Mental health is and I try to psychoeducate my clients that mental wellness has physical wellness, as going to a gym. For your mental wellness, you would seek something like psychotherapy. If you go to a spa to feel good, why not go to a psychotherapist and get some clarity on the thoughts. So
And so what has been generally the consistent feedback that you have received from your clients?
I have received very good feedbacks, and that has motivated me further to seek and train myself, and even helping other population. So I'm trying to get myself certified with substance abuse, and I would like to treat that population who are struggling with addictive behaviors, and that can be food, it can be alcohol, smoking, and now even internet, gaming. I see that's a big, huge problem.
Cool. Okay, wonderful. So you are at as you mentioned, Diamond Bar Counseling. Why don't you share with our viewers how they can reach you?
Okay. The best way to reach me would be to log into my website. It's info@diamondbarcounseling.com, and my website is very easy, and you can, it will just walk you through, and once I get an online contact request from my clients, I will contact you in 24 hours and set up an appointment for you.
Wonderful. So again, diamondbarcounseling.com.
Yes, diamondbarcounseling.com.
Diamondbarcounseling.com, and email is info@diamondbarcounseling.com.
Yes.
So you can email her directly. You can go to the website and learn more about her practice, and a lot of information that she has already on the website, and see how you can reach her. We are in that is Diamond Bar in LA, in Los Angeles.
It is in the LA County, yes.
It's not, but it's close. It's kind of between Riverside, Orange County, and LA. So it's very easy to reach.
Yes. Right. So, I encouraged, the viewers to at least visit my website, and, I think they will benefit from visiting the website also.
Sure, absolutely.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for coming today. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Dr. Ehsan.
You're very welcome. And we will have more shows and more programs with Darshana, because we want to focus on this aspect of both the Eastern and Western
yes.
incorporation or integration of Eastern and Western medicine, and bring you more information how she's doing and what are some additional tools that you use from both of these cultures.
Yeah, and the mission statement for my website or my Diamond Bar counseling is life in balance.
Life and balance.
Yes.
Very good. Life in balance, Diamond Bar counseling. Thank you very much.
Thank you.